ABC Kinder Teach presents Pancakes, Pancakes, written by Carle. Kiki-riki, crowed the rooster. Jack woke up, looked out the window, and thought, I'd like to have a big pancake for breakfast. There he is, looking out the window. Jack's mother was already up and busy. Mother, said Jack, I'd like to have a big pancake for breakfast. I am busy, and you will have to help me, she said. How can I help? Asked Jack. We'll need some flour, she replied. Well, I'm guessing that he's just going to go to the cupboard and dig out a bag of flour, right? That's what I would do. Take a sickle, and a sickle looks like this, and you use it to cut the wheat down, and cut as much wheat as the donkey can carry. Then take it to the mill. The miller will grind it into flour. When Jack had cut enough wheat, he put it on the donkey's back and took it to the miller. So, these are different types of grain: corn, rye, wheat, and oats like in oatmeal. And this is what Jack took to the mill: wheat. Now, they're not going to use all of this. They're only going to use the seeds and the good stuff. Some of the stuff is just like branches that we wouldn't eat. After they take the corn and grind it down, it would look like this. They would call it cornmeal. But this other stuff is what it looks like before they grind it at the miller. Rye, wheat will look like this. Oats, or like oatmeal, would look like this before they grind it down. Can you grind this wheat for me? He asked. I need it for a big pancake. First, we must separate the grain from the chaff, said the miller. And so they got to take away the seeds from the part that you don't eat. He gave Jack a flail. And a flail looks like this, it looks like this, and spread the wheat onto the ground. The miller took another flail and began to beat the wheat with it. Jack helped with the threshing. So they used these sticks in order to pull the seeds away from the stuff we don't eat, and this is called threshing. And soon there was a big pile of straw and chaff, the part you don't want, and a small pile of grain. The miller poured the grain onto a large flat stone right there. On top of it was a round millstone connected to the water wheel on the outside. The water wheel turned round and round, turning the millstone round and round too, to grind the grain into flour, or almost like dust. At last the miller handed Jack a bag of flour. Now that's a lot of work just to get a bag of flour. You and I would just go to our cupboard or to the store to get flour, right? And this is what a water wheel might really look like. And the water comes through and it turns it and makes the thing grind, this thing grind around. And there's the millstone, and they pour the seeds in there, and it goes around and around, and it grinds it up. And this is also what it looks like. The water comes over, it turns this wheel turns this, and it basically grinds everything all up. Here's the flour, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, Now we need an egg. Jack went to the black hen and fed her some grain that had slipped into his pocket while he had been threshing. Cluck, cluck, said the black hen, and went inside the hen house. Then she said, cluck, cluck, once more and laid an egg. So there's the egg that Jack's going to get, it looks like. Here's an egg, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, now we need some milk. Jack went to the spotted cow and began to milk her, and that's milking her. Moo, moo, said the spotted cow as the milk squirted into the pail. Boy, it is a lot of work to make a pancake. Here's the milk, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, we need some butter. Jack got the butter churn and held it between his knees. And so that's what a butter churn looks like. Also, it looks like this. And what you do is you put some cream in here and you pull this stick up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and then it makes butter. His mother scooped the cream from the top of the milk and put it into the butter churn. So when you get milk straight from a cow, there's the top of the bottle usually has some very heavy milk in it they call cream, and that's what you use to make butter. Jack pushed the churn handle up and down, up and down. Finally the cream turned into butter. Here's the butter, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, we need to build a fire. Jack went to the woodshed where they keep the wood and brought some firewood. Boy, this is a lot of work for a pancake. Here's the firewood, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. But his mother said, wouldn't you like to have something sweet on your pancake? And I'd say yes. So Jack went down to the cool cellar and pulled a jar of strawberry jam from one of the shelves. And a cellar is like a basement. Sometimes it is not as nice as a basement. It might not have a very high ceiling. It might be made of dirt. It all depends. Here's the strawberry jam, shouted Jack. Let's make a pancake. In the kitchen, Jack's mother had filled the table with the flour, the egg, the milk, the butter. There was also a mixing bowl, a cup, a wooden spoon, a ladle, a frying pan, a plate, a knife, fork, and spoon, and a jar of strawberry jam. And his mother said, put a cupful of flour into the bowl, break an egg into the flour and stir, pour a cupful of milk over the flour and egg and stir again until the batter is smooth and without lumps. Jack's mother heated the frying pan over the fire and added a piece of butter. The butter melted fast. Then she said to Jack, pour a ladle full of batter into the hot pan. And this is a ladle. After a minute or two, she looked at the underside of the pancake. It was golden brown. Now watch, she said. I'll turn the pancake over. Ready? Ready, shouted Jack. Flip, said his mother. Up and over went the pancake high into the air and landed right in the pan. In another minute or two, the pancake was crisp on the underside as well. So she flipped it in the air. Then she slipped the pancake from the frying pan onto the plate and spread some strawberry jam on it. And now, Jack, his mother started to say, but Jack said, what would Jack say? He'd say, I want pancakes? Maybe. Oh, Mama, I know what to do, which means he knows he should eat the pancakes. That's what he's been trying to do all along. Here's a little video on how a grist mill actually works if you're interested.